All right, we are back to work on page 51. And I want us to do this together because I want to be able to walk you through how to draw some things. I want to walk you through some language, and I want you to walk you through how to record some things. So we're going to do this together. So you need a couple of things to get started. First of all, you need your workbook. Math Journal, page 51 is what we're working on. You absolutely need a pencil since we're doing math, and you're going to need a straight edge. I see the directions tell me to use a straight edge. A straight edge is just a fancy word for a ruler. So if you can grab a ruler, it has a, you guessed it, straight edge. That's what we need today, okay? So we're gonna work through these things together. So the very first one tells me we are gonna draw a line segment AB. Now hopefully you remember those words, line and segment, but if not, it's okay because that's why we're working through it together. So first of all, what's a line? Hopefully you're picturing something long and straight, okay, as a line. And then segment means just a little piece. So for number one, would you draw a piece of a line or a line segment? So I'm going to use my straight edge to do that because I want my line to be as close to straight as possible, okay? And if that's a little hard, oh, you could see it, there you go. I want it to be as straight as possible. We don't just want to scratch something down and call it done because we want to be as precise or as accurate as we can be. So that's why we're using the straight edge. But we're not done because it said it wants a line segment. So I've got a line. It's a segment, which means it's a piece, okay? But it has a special name. It has the letters A, B. Okay, so whenever we draw in geometry, whenever we draw, we want to use uppercase letters. And the reason why we do that is because if you have the lowercase letter like an L, it looks an awful lot like a 1, right? That can be confusing. So when we're using when we're doing geometry, we want to use uppercase letters so there is no question whether we are talking about a number or a letter. So in this case, they want our line segment or our piece of a line to be labeled AB. Now, did you see what my fingers did when I said piece? I automatically went up like this with 2 points on either side. So that's what we're going to do to our line segment here. We're going to put 2 points on either side because it is a piece of a line. It starts somewhere and it ends somewhere. So I've got my line, I've got my 2 points on the either end, and I'm just going to label those A and B because they said they want my line segment to be A, B. That's it. It's a piece of a line that has an A on one end and a B on the other end. It's just that simple. So let's look at number 2 together. Now, this time we want line GH. So we're going to start in the same way. We want our straight edge and we want to make a line. But this time it doesn't say segment, it doesn't say piece, it says line. So when we use our straight edge to draw this, doesn't matter how long or short it is, it can be the same size or longer, doesn't matter. But this time we didn't say piece, so I don't want my fingers to stop the line. Well, I can't just draw forever and ever and ever and ever on my workbook, right? It's going to reach the end at some point. So the way I'm going to show that this line never ends, it goes on and on forever and always in both directions, is I'm just going to put arrows at either end. It keeps going that way. It keeps going that way. It goes both ways. It is a line. But my paper says I still want to name it GH. I don't want it to stop at G and H, but I want to name it G and H. So inside my arrows, would you put a point for uppercase G and a point for uppercase H, okay? The line starts at G, it heads towards H, but it keeps going. So I have my arrows to show it continues in both directions. So the only difference between my segment and my line is my line has arrows to show it keeps going. It does not stop. Okay? All right, now we've got an extra step in number 3. Number 3 is asking us to label a point T on line AB. Well, we just figured out how to draw a line. So let's go ahead and do that. On our straight edge, long, short, doesn't much matter, okay? We want to have arrows because it's a line, okay? It does not stop, it goes on. It is line AB. And then we're going to name it A, B. And of course, guys, while you're working, because you should be doing this with me, if I go too fast on something, just pause me. I'll wait for you, I promise. Pause me, catch up, or rewind if you need to, and then keep going, okay? All right, so we've got line, it keeps going, arrows forever and always in both directions, and we've labeled it A, B. So we know we're talking about this particular line in space. But my instructions did not stop there. It said to label point T on the line. So you can put point T wherever you want on that line. I put mine in the middle. You could put yours right next to A. You could put yours right next to B. You could put it by the arrow. It does not matter as long as it is on that line that you just drew. Okay? So you have a point T that is somewhere on line AB with arrows. It continues to go forever and always in both directions. All right. The next one is a ray. Okay, so ray might be a vocabulary word that you have not heard before. And let me help you think about this. So when I think about ray, I'm going to draw you a picture for a minute. Do you care? Here's my picture of a sun, right? When you're in kindergarten and you draw your happy sun here, you draw the points going out, right? You might draw it triangles. You might have just drawn it lines, whatever it was. Like a ray of sunshine. Have you heard that? So my ray starts at the sun and it goes out, right? It goes out away from the sun. Well, a ray does just that. It starts one place, like at the sun, and it goes forever and always in one direction. Our line went in two directions. Our ray is like a ray of sunshine. It goes in one direction, okay? So when I draw my line this time, I used my straight edge to make it neat and tidy, but it's only going to go in one direction. So it starts here with my point, and it goes on in one direction with your arrow, okay? So it wants me to label this EF. So I'm starting at E, and I'm labeling it going towards F. Now the order that you do this in does matter, okay? So I said like my ray of sunshine, it started at the sun and went out. This told me it started at E and it goes towards F, okay? And I could write it like that, ray EF. So my line started at E and went to F. If I did my arrow the other way, coming back this way, I could still do that, but it still needs to start at E and go in the direction of F, okay? So that direction matters. So we've got ray, E, starting at E and going one direction towards F, okay? Then number 6, we have two sets of parallel lines and we want to label 2 points on each. Well, we know parallel lines. Oops, I skipped one, I'm sorry. Number 5, let's go with number 5 first. Draw angle X, Y, Z and label each point. So we're doing an angle first. So I'm going to use my straight edge so that it's nice and straight. X, Y, and Z. Okay. Doesn't matter how big or how small you do your angle. It does not matter. But I want you to draw this like it's 2 rays. So it has an arrow going in 2 different directions, and I'm going to go ahead and put my end point just to keep it neat and tidy on there. All right? But we gave it letters, X, Y, Z. So I'm going to go in that same order. I'm going to start up here, X, Y in the middle, and Z. Whatever letter is in the middle, angle X, Y, Z, Y was in the middle of those 3, right? That Y still needs to be in the middle of my angle. So make sure you keep it there. So I have angle X, Y, Z, okay? So that was number 5. And I'm going to pause the video to keep it under time and look for part 2.